Wouldn't mind having that power, make dreams reality.
Make
But yeah,
dreams. It's not a dream ability though.
yeah, little jokes, whatever. Like, wouldn't it be funny if our podcast had 300 million listeners and they all donated $1?
See, that doesn't. Nah. See, that's not. That's your. That's see. That's the issue. I think he'd have. Like, that's not actually something he finds funny. That's just something he wants to happen. Oh, you weren't gonna do the intro too?
No, I just
Oh.
said countdown.
Oh, okay. Just to cut. All right, guys. Welcome back to Herbals. Fuck you, Irby. Welcome
uh,
back to Herbal Synergies, the shop. I'm your host, Sinji. With me, uh, Irby.
I'll just start all over.
No. Fuck it. Run it.
Shoot. But yeah,
Say hi, Irby. How you doing?
I'm doing well, listeners out there. Nice to see you tuning in for another installment.
This man's being especially awkward today.
Nah, not me. That's every day.
what's What's your flavor this week, bro?
Oh man, my flavor this week. I'm gonna have to go my boy Lucifero. You know who that is, Carlos?
How much time do you need to go with this?
Shoot, man, I could go about 15 minutes on this.
Okay, well, um,
Nah, I'm just kidding. My flavor of the week, I am going to go with Talentless Nana. It's it's an interesting show. It's a show about kids with powers and they have certain abilities and it's kind of like a psychological thriller. And needless to say, the end of the first episode messed me up. And I was like,
Irby
man,
showing some like mentally or emotionally.
both.
Oh, Irby showing emotion to an anime? That's fucking rare.
I was like, what? Yeah, just you just watch the first episode and you'll see what I'm talking about.
I don't remember what you said it was.
The talentless Nana.
What'd you watch it on?
Funimation.
Joy. Funimation.
Yeah. Oh, it's only
Funimation's good
one
when you
scene.
watch something for the first time.
Yeah. It's
Other than that,
one
after
yeah,
that, like it's shit.
one season, 13 episodes. I'm thinking there should be a whole some more seasons just based on the way it ended. 'Cause I was like, really? This is what y'all gonna do? And so I was like, man, that is it's crazy. But yeah, watch it. You enjoy it.
I'll put it on my list. I'll get to it.
Now watch it now. Later.
No, absolutely not.
Yes.
I have other things I'm watching right now, sir.
You won't be disappointed in this one.
I'm not disappointed in the things I'm currently watching.
You probably like this one better.
Um,
Do it as a favor.
listen. You have an open slot. Maybe you should have picked it.
Nah, I'll pick something else.
See, if it wasn't worth the slot, it can't be that good.
It's worth the slot, but I just wanted to binge watch it. That's why I didn't pick it. Cause I finished it in like 2 days. Cause I was like, what? Really? I was like, what? No way. I gotta see what happened next. How did she get out of this one?
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, cause that's why I was gonna pick. Now I was like, nah, I can't end on three. You fucked me up. I gotta keep watching. So, yeah. That's why I didn't pick it.
Damn, my man started watching it before he picked it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm glad I didn't pick it because I was like, let me watch this on my lunch break. Let me watch this after work. I was like, oh. So, yeah, it's a nice show. Makes you think a little bit.
Did you pick your new slot?
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, anyways, my flavor this week is my boy Puck, man.
Mm,
And I'm not gonna say any more. We'll get to it when we get to ReZero.
shoot. Pucky Puck, don't give a truck.
But next week, guys, next week is tournament week, as you know, 10 episodes tournament with a returning friend, Lord Infamous slash or AKA Clutch Worthy, AKA the name I always drop per episode.
Yeah.
And we both, me and the infamous one, have picked either most anticipated anime coming up, year 2022, or best villains. And it's up to Irby to decide which one we do next week. Now, for me, it doesn't really matter which one Irby picks because Irby's going to personally see to my loss.
Nope, I just follow the evidence.
Nah. As you guys know, the past 2 or 3 tournaments, Irby, Irby somehow doesn't make it to the finals, and Irby gets real petty at the end and doesn't care who wins. But usually
Yeah.
just doesn't go for me.
Yeah, I don't have a horse in the race, so it doesn't even matter at that point.
Yeah, that's poor sportsmanship. At that point, we need someone to fill in for Irby at that point.
It's great sportsmanship.
And
Yeah.
it's like, my guys got eliminated. I don't care no more. Let's
Sure
just make
don't.
Carlos lose.
You lose in the semifinals, you don't be like, let's go, person in the finals, do you? You be like, nah.
See, if I lost, even if I lost round 1, I'd give you all my honest opinions and votes.
Mm. Well, I guess you're a better man than I then, huh?
Apparently not, because you trust UPS drivers with kids.
Yeah, so what?
Um. So, are you leaning towards one? Would you gonna pick one? What's up?
No, I'll let you know by Friday.
By Friday,
Yeah.
we have to, sir.
Don't rush me.
Sir, that's not enough time to get a list of names.
It's plenty of time.
It is not plenty of time. We need to compare lists, see if we have duplicates, see who's gonna change, blah blah blah. Friday is too late.
Well, it'd be like that.
Someone help me.
Yeah, buddy. But anyhow, let's get into that Jujutsu Kaisen.
Nah, it's dead.
Damn. Well, anyhow, so Megami defeats Reggie, asks him what his relationship is to Master Tegan. Reggie doesn't know. And then my boy Reggie gives Megami 41 points. Why? Because he's like, let's make this thing interesting.
That was a real Scafidi move.
Yeah. And then so he flashed the other fight. The Hasanuki, the bomb guy, is fighting Takabe, and his power is comedian. He must come up with something he thinks is funny, and it becomes reality, which I find is interesting because they said his ability can
Rival Gojo's.
yes. I
It
was
can
like,
actually
oh,
get the. He's actually. It said it can get the best of Gojo, but he is
yeah.
oblivious to his own ability.
But he's utterly clueless to his own curse technique. So even though he's stronger, he doesn't know he's stronger, which is crazy.
But then again, like, I think that would kind of mess up. Like, consciously knowing that your ability is like that, wouldn't that? I think. I don't know. I think it'd have something. I think kind of mess up your comedic side a little bit. If you're just like thinking things, like it has to actually. He has to find it funny for it to happen.
Yeah. I mean,
So unless
yeah.
like it beating Gojo would have to like appeal to his humor. Like if he thought it'd be funny if even though no one can touch him, he can touch him. You know what I mean?
That would be funny.
Well, it's got to be funny to him. It doesn't matter if it's funny to us.
Yeah, it's like ironic, oxymoron funny. I'd find it funny. Isn't it funny? He whoop everyone's ass but mine? Yeah.
Stop.
So it's nice, nice one. So and then Sumaki, I think his sister flashed to Megami. Mega's getting ready to hit the lady that trapped him. And then I think his sister stops him from hurting the lady and he ends up passing out. And then we find like four emperors or something. I'm just calling them emperors because there was four of them.
Yonkos.
Yeah. And Yuta kills one of them, and that ends the episode. So not much there. Interesting read. I did find the Gojo tidbit funny. Wouldn't mind having that power, make dreams reality. But
Make
yeah,
dreams. It's not a dream ability though.
yeah, well, jokes, whatever. Like, wouldn't it be funny if our podcast had 300 million listeners and they all donated $1?
See that doesn't. Nah. See that's not. That's your. That's see. That's the issue. I think he'd have. Like that's not actually something he finds funny. That's just something he wants to happen.
I'd find it funny.
You would not.
It would work for me.
It wouldn't.
Mm-hmm. I have all sorts of funny stuff going on.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the long week, but I am not prepared for Irby today.
I think it's a long week.
Oh my god. So, Tower of Gizad.
Yeah, I could start with that one.
Well, didn't you say you had something else to talk about, or was it that
Nah.
talentless?
Nah, I was going to go on a 15-minute rant about Black Clover.
I mean, you can do it. Just let me know, and I'll disappear for 15 minutes.
Nah, I was just kidding. But anyhow,
I'll come back when that bar of yours stop moving, meaning you stop talking.
so Tower of God, Season 2, Episodes 246 to 253. So my man Yurik shows up, or Uric, and he apparently followed perfume to a damsel in distress. And I'm destined to be everyone's hero. And we find out he was given an anklet that prevents people from recognizing his power. And he got it so that Garam wouldn't know he's there. And if he goes over 5%, the bracelet would break and Garam would dump him and she found out he's there. So he starts fighting uh, Araka, and apparently he just uses like 1% of his power. I was like, ooh, that's crazy, just 1% of power. And so then we flash to Bam and Rachel, and they're about to go head to Helljo. And then Fabregas, I think was his name, uh, tells them how to discover the weakness, and you have to get the Jaw's eyes, and that allows them to see into the future, and which is Hockney's eyes. And so Hockney asks why they called him their eyes, and we get the backstory of how Hockney lost his eyes, and he came to them for help. And since he was an immortal, he couldn't get his eyes repaired, but Deja gave him his own eyes in exchange for a favor, which um, he ended up forgetting. So he also was supposed to bring the Princess of the Deep Colored Sea. So, so backstory is Joe plucked out Hockney's eyes for refusal to help, and Hockey and Mata was Joe's subordinates, and they were to look for the thorn fragments. And Hockney wanted to leave the floor and travel to the outside with friends and draw pictures. And he went to Deja, made a promise, which, like I said earlier, he forgot. And he says, "Thank you for thanking me, Mata, for helping him out to get his eyes back."
Mm-hmm.
And then they decide to go. to Heljo and get his eyes and pictures back. And Rachel reveals that she has Hockney's picture to Bam. After Bam decides to say Hockney should stay behind, he said, "We can get him help because I got the picture." Classic narcissistic move. And they agreed to split up to achieve the goal. Rachel reiterates the fact that they are enemies to Bam, and Yuri is torn with people, and Heljo comes out to ask her a favor to break the curse and let them leave the place. And she says, "Why? I don't benefit." And Joe says he wants to become king. If she doesn't help, he will defeat her and take her abilities. And
Okay, so let's
Garam,
pause. Let's pause. It's scenes like this that make me hate Rachel more. Because you have no right to look like you feel bad about saying you're enemies with Bam. When all this time he could have been on your side.
you,
He was still ready to be on your side even after you tried to kill the man.
yeah,
Carry on.
that happens sometimes. But anyhow, so let's see. Yeah, so then Garam shows up and she hits the ghost of the 13 monarchs. Somehow Karaka survived the attack launched by Uruk. And they talk about wings and something about being affiliated with the Waltz Honk song. And apparently it's like the power equivalent to that of the 10 families and of or Jihad. I was like, oh, that's nice. He's that strong. So Karaka thinks of himself he can't win, so he comes with a plan. He's going to pull a Vegeta and save just enough power to return to his original body. Uh, and then we find the story of how Uruk gave Heljo, when he's a boy, the red Thrasa, and it's big and difficult to stop now. So, interesting story, which we get more into later. And so then Bam enters the castle and a villain appears, and Bam uses his Shinshu black hole spear and kills him. And everyone questions how Bam killed an immortal. And then Rachel's like, "Is it because of the thorn?" And he defeats more people. And Fabregas has Rachel question why he's more focused on Desa versus eliminating Joe himself. And then also Flash the Kun's group, and he starts questioning Horion. And was like, "What's wrong with her?" Question, what if her goal was not to eliminate Heljo, but rather to meet Desa? And Bam was going to go fly over to Yuri, but it's dangerous and he can't control Sentry in the area for some reason, but he can. So they take this leech thing over and fly to him. It's controlled by Mata. And we find that Grum is Yoram's younger sister. And she went on a rampage when she ignited two weapons. And we find out Garam had to kill his sister and save the family, which was sad. Tragic story. So we find that swords are um, swords of some people that failed the initial selection process, and they resented people, and they made a deal to seep into the spirits of the 13 months and torment the princesses. And they steal the body of the princesses that ignite more than two of the 13 months. And then so we flash to Garam, and she has a Bell of Dam, and she also has an ancient cloak, which sorcerers use to trap evil beings. And she throws them on Yuri. And she uses the bell to drive away the evil spirits. And then my man Heljo removes the cloth. I'm like, really, guy? What are you interfering for? So, but then Bam shows up and Yuri returns to her senses. So, my man Bam brings out the best in people, unlike someone else I know. So,
Stop, you shouldn't talk about yourself like that, Irby.
who says talking about me?
I did.
Shoot.
I also want to note that as menacing as Karaka seems whenever they show him, my man seriously said with a straight face, "There's no way I can take on any of that guy's fingers."
I don't think he can make facial expressions. I think that's just his regular face.
Well, that he actually can't. No, no, no. He actually can. It this was. Oh damn! Now I haven't reread in a while. I don't know if this is a spoiler or not. Never mind. Go ahead.
Exactly. But anyhow, so yeah, and so let's see. I guess Joe was also born from the body of the administrator. I think that's the Tharassa they were speaking about, and it's apparently the administrator's child, and it's being reborn. And Ulrich is going to plan on asking Joe why he changed being good, and Khan asks what kind of power did Desa have for him to be able to beat Joe, but he even lost with it. And then he cites his reasoning, says she's putting her vengeance over Viol's journey, says she's not angry or sad about uh, the other guy's death. And then third, um, Joe doesn't have the thorn fragment. And then Horion's like, oh, spot on the money, Kun. You're pretty close. And she wants the item that Desa has. It's the soul stirring ladle. It was used to make the spirit room. And the guy who's interested is Mata Doraku. He was also on the ship, the workshop ship from long ago, many, many chapters ago. And she wants to trade the ladle for the thorn that he has. And Rachel and Fabregas over here and jump down, and uh, we flash to Garam and Bam talking, and Garam says that they're just greedy for trying to get Bam to kill Heljo. So that happens, and Garam kicks Yuri. Garam was going to sacrifice herself so that Bam could escape. Bam says, no, I got to defeat Heljo and pass the test. And so, yeah, so then we find out Garam's there, and Hockey says they all die to continue. And he says there's something that will appear and help Bam. So uh, they lead Heljo somewhere, and Uruk makes his way to a specific point. So then Yuri starts fighting Heljo again. Heljo controls the Shinshu and makes everyone plummet, starts suffocating the world there. And Bam just sitting there floating all strong like. So I'm like, oh, okay, this guy's built different. And they plan to use Bam as bait. They flee. Heljo gives chase. Yuri tries to fight without Shinshu, gets smacked. And we flash to the Garam, and she gets to an area, and Manzino senses her and hides. She doesn't like him, but he loves her. So I was like, tainted love story. Just give up, guy.
Just give up, my
So,
dude.
yeah, you ain't got to chase. There's plenty of women out there, which I find funny because he had like they showed his cell phone. He had a whole bunch of women in his messages. So I was like, huh. But yeah, the heart wants what the heart wants. So he's trying to win her heart. He said he tried other girls. They weren't for him. And Hockney gave her a phrase to say, and this will work out. So, which I find is funny. I'll forgive everything. I waited a long time for you to return, and if you help me this time, we can start over. And then my man shows up out of nowhere. He's like, "Oh, hey, nice to see you." She's like, "Really? This who shows up?" And then Joe launches a fireball, but Eric shows up and blocks it. So Eric confronts Joe about his misuse of power. They thought he was going to use it to benefit everyone. Joe says he's sick of the place and he wants to get out. Eric asks Joe again, and Joe says, "Shut up. I already tried my best. Best wasn't good enough." And people feared the change that Joe's trying to bring, and he tried to share his power, and uh, everyone didn't want to escape the outside. They just kind of stuck in status quo, and they wasted the power, and they didn't believe in him. And they saw it came for Joe, branded him as a traitor. Um, he's, they said the member of the youngest family actually deserved the ladle because the ladle was part of the plan to get out. And Khan's group is starting to fight Grandeli. Rachel has a long monologue about stuff, which I was like, ugh, Rachel. About getting the ladle, making a deal for the thorn. And we find out that the Grand family made a promise to free people who wanted to leave after 500 years, but they didn't. They went back on their promise. More people wanted to leave, and Desa and Deja changed their minds. They used later to create Leech Guardians, which is kind of ingenious. The people that wanted to leave, they let them think that they were leaving and then made them into the stuff that actually patrols the outer perimeter. So, interesting. And so,
Mm.
so then Kun traps uh, Deja and they flee. And my man Dali destroys a lighthouse and he stabs Lighthouse. And he's about to stab Kun when Rachel yells stop and says they are Bam's companions. I was like, oh, look at you playing the Bam card, the savior. I thought you were the savior. Guess not. So Rachel says she's tired of Delee's fatalism and says destiny and all other jibber jive. And destiny only has value when you create it for yourself. And tells him to let Heldro have the ladle and leave. Dejah tells her, well, sorry, you got to die. I'm like, ooh, okay. Killing Rachel. But I know she's not going to die until later on if she dies.
If she dies,
I don't know yet. We'll
you don't
see.
know yet.
I have another 800 episodes. Oh, wait, wrong show. So Eric drops the anklet. He managed for to go full power. And he wants to go talk to Hell Joe. And then Yuri drop kicks him, tells him he's going to prison, which was funny. Why is he going to prison? But we find out Eric has a potion to separate Joe from the parasite, the red thrasa. Eric and Joe talk about their first time meeting. Joe's dream was to figure out the structure and get everyone outside. And Eric thought that Joe really could help everyone out. That's why he gave him the power. Eric hits Joe with 10% of his power. Eric says Joe is much smaller than before. Joe doesn't attack, and Eric flicks it away with a snap, which I was like, ooh, okay, this man's big and bad. And he tells Joe he's gotten smaller. And he's like, it's because you wasn't afraid to be around me and you spoke openly of your dreams. And now Joe is terrified. He asked Joe why he became crooked, or was it because not everyone acknowledged him? And then he's, why'd you abandon your dreams, Joe? And all of a sudden the red thrasher comes out. And then we flash to Rachel, who again lies to people and says she's the savior. Uh, Dooley says he doesn't know if she's the savior, and they discover that everything is just a ruse to keep people trapped in there. And then he shoots a bee at her, and I think she might be poisoned for a little bit, but Bam will fix that. He'll heal her somehow. And then we find out that Beta and using Lighthouse, she's like, oh, watch out, Khan, this guy's tricky. And Horion slips away during the midst of all this to go get the ladle. The Thrasa speaks to Hojo, thanks him for giving him a hose, and he launches an attack at Yurik. And Yurik withstands the attack and it's like, you can't scratch me. And Thrasher then unleashes a barrage of attacks and he proceeds to suck up all the Shinshu to kill everybody. Bam makes the effort to try to step in, And we find out Bam has administrative powers inside his body. I think it's because of the souls. I don't know. Find out later. And then we find that Eric has set it up so that the Tharasa could be injected, and he played being weak. The Tharasa comes out, and Yurik says he could finally hit something with his heart's content. And I forgot who said this quote, but it says humans don't need power. Oh, that's Yurik. Yeah, don't need power that eats away at their ideas and causes them to harm others purely for the sake of their own goals. So it's a nice little quote to end on. It's not bad.
So good. It's so good, Irby.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty
it's in
good.
color.
If it wasn't in color, it wouldn't make a difference to me.
I mean, but it makes a huge difference to me.
Yeah.
I can see everything the author sees. You see, like, okay, all right. When authors draw, they have a vision, and their vision is typically also in color. I mean, yeah, I guess you can think of things in black and white, but like, it's still in color. You know what I mean? It's nice to see what the author envisions, and like, Tower of God actually goes through quite a few outfit changes. So like, that's nice to see. Anyway,
I see stuff in black and white.
comments, concerns, and blah blah blah.
Comments concerns. Nope. I just find Rachel to be funny and hilarious.
Rachel to
She,
be funny and hilarious.
yep.
Oh, okay.
Because she swear out she's the savior, but she ain't got no type of special power. A savior kill her friends. I'm like, come on. You really think that's savior behavior?
Hey, she out here trying to save herself first.
Shoot. Yeah, I don't know. She's an odd one.
She's an odd one. Are you ready for ReZero, Irby?
No.
You gonna have to get ready, man, cause it's time for ReZero.
Mm. Go ahead. Start the re-zero.
Okay, ReZero. The sound that makes you want to cry. Subaru said he doesn't want either of the helps from Satella or Echidna. By the way, Satella showed up, and again, she's all over this "I love you, I love you, I love you" thing. And they kind of they start talking around in circles, and the blondie, I think she's the Witch of Pride. I forget, but she called Subaru despicable for
Talking
dying to
about
get
Minerva,
the blonde one.
the heals people.
Does she heal? Does Pride
Yeah.
heal? I feel like their powers don't match their
The Wrath heals. I feel like they probably all have the same
I think she
subset of
was Raph. I
powers.
think she was Raph. I think the blondie is Raph.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I feel like they all have similar powers, but they just have different s- sins. I guess. Right.
Well, I don't know if they're sins. I just think that's what they're called. I don't know what
Or
the purpose
different
behind their
witches.
names is. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I wanted to call it sins too, because those are like the seven deadly sins.
Yeah.
But um, the blonde one, which I believe is the Raph witch, calls Subaru despicable for dying to get the best outcome, and also calls him ungrateful for not thanking Satella for the gift.
Yeah.
And he was like having Subaru was having like a mental breakdown, and Satella approached him and was like trying to ease his pain and blah blah blah, and like he ended up biting his tongue and trying to kill himself, and the Wrath Witch was gonna like I guess try to heal him right away, but the Witch of Lust interfered, and then also the Witch of Sloth interfered, and like it to wrap up a little confusing situation, basically everyone there was actually wanted to help Subaru in a different way.
Yeah.
So like one ended up healing him, one ended up prolonging his life, and one ended up showing him the love he doesn't see from other people. And it's just like, how can you be so stupid as to think that people still don't care for you? Like, Rem literally bawled her eyes out, basically saying she's in love with you. You know she loves you. You said it multiple times, but you don't think you matter in people's eyes. Anyways, so
Yeah.
Subaru didn't take Echidna's hand. I don't really like his reason. He says he no longer wants to use return by death as like a convenience tool to save everyone. He wants to try to get the best outcome in the current life. And he thinks that if he makes a deal with Echidna, then he'd be sacrificing, or it'd be contradictory to like the decision he made. But like Echidna was willing to help him do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
But I guess he doesn't want to do the sacrificing part in the end, which okay, whatever. So
Yeah. I did have a little note here. Yeah, they called him out for thinking he should be the only one suffering, and
mm-hmm.
my man
Satella said he needs
Subaru,
to
yeah,
love himself more.
yeah, and my man actually, I was thinking about it, and he has like five girls that actually like love him per se. So
What are
I
you
was like, mm.
thinking? Emilia, Ram, Satella, Echidna, and
I was thinking Petra loves him too,
well, yeah, Petra
cause
loves him. Petra's a little girl with a crush.
yeah, but still love though,
Yeah,
if you want to look at it like that. But she
I
because
think Otto
I
is the
think
MVP of these 3 episodes.
yeah, Otto is, but I think what Subaru's only like 17
Nah, just
because he's still dressing up going to school. I don't even know if he's that old to be honest.
he might. He could be a high schooler.
Yeah,
That's possible. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't consider him being that old, but but yeah. So yeah, that was that. That's my interjection. Yeah, he also questioned the value of his life. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So and like, but
continue.
he also admitted that he didn't want to die, and that's when they all helped him. And like, then he's like, um, he he doesn't believe that the people who care for or that he care for him, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
But
Um,
somehow
did
he
you?
got all the witches on his side. It didn't take much, but they're all like behind him 100%.
Yeah.
And I don't really get what he did here, but like he proceeded to insult them all and then thank them all. And
Yes,
then
it was a weird one.
he went to Satella and he thanked her for bestowing him like the curse or the gift of coming back. And the only reason she gave it to him because she I don't know how she fell in love with him because he was from a different world, but she wants him to care for himself and protect himself, and that's why she gave him that ability so he can not die and survive, but he keeps dying. So it's like,
Yeah.
dumbass, stop.
I have an interesting thought
Theory.
about that too. But it might work out later.
Okay,
And we might
so
discuss it. But did you pick up on how the witch said something and she's like, one day I need you to come take my life?
yeah, yeah. So like right after that, I have here that Satella sounded like Betty with like wanting Subaru to take her life, and then Subaru's like, "I'll come save you," and I'm just like, I'm so fucking confused. So I also have a thought later on that might line up with yours, might not. We'll see.
Did you see how eerily she looked like Amelia?
Yo, no, no, she looks exactly like Emilia, which is why I came to this theory. But we'll get there. I don't know what episode I came up with it, but when I get to the notes, I'll just bring it up. Actually, I can just bring it up now. So I had a theory that Amelia, because in episode 3, the third episode, a reason to the second half of the third episode, a reason to believe, You find out a little more about Emilia's past and like how she was encased in ice and blah blah blah, and like she starts remembering people. And like I was starting to wonder, it was just like, is Emilia just Satella, but like reincarnated, but Satella is able to have a separate conscience that Emilia isn't aware of. It was like really weird. It was a really weird theory. I'm not sure how it worked in my head, but like it was just like Amelia and Satella are definitely connected.
Yeah,
There's
I got a whole different theory, but I, I'll, I'll let you do the synopsis, and then I'll jump in when my theory is there.
yeah, so they're definitely connected. And if anything, the last time a couple times that Subaru left the sanctuary proves that they're connected because when he leaves and comes back, Amelia turns into like Satella mode and with the I love yous and like she's a little more forward and like she kind of just she's batshit crazy, but like she still cares for him. And
Yeah,
I'm just like I feel like so like I don't know. I feel like Amelia and Satella are definitely connected, and they might be alive within the same body but living on different planes. If that makes sense.
yeah. I'll tell you my theory, but yeah, keep going. Yeah, did yeah? You'll probably talk about that, but yeah, keep going.
Okay, so Satella wanted Subaru to kill her, and Subaru decided he wants to save her. Um, Subaru just learned after he comes back that like Patricia is the first person he acknowledged caring about him. I was like, really? I mean, yes, but really? And Subaru
Mm.
lost his right to take the next trial. And I got a note here that's like, a kid to finesse my boy, bro.
He did.
But like, hey, it'd be like that. So he isn't qualified to take the third test, and he confronts Roswald about all this, and like Roswald ends up being really disappointed with Subaru. So it appears that whatever Roswald has planned, it doesn't line up with what the witches want for Subaru. So Roswald and witches not on the same side. And since Roswald's already disappointed with this Subaru because he does know that Subaru restarts, but like I don't. I had a question like how why do you think Roswald doesn't know that Subaru is unqualified? Shouldn't the book tell him?
You talking about unqualified take the trial
Yeah,
still?
yeah.
Um, what if it's not that? What if it doesn't have anything to do with qualifications? But what if she doesn't allow him to take the trial anymore? Type deal.
But I'm just saying, like
But
Roswell was so surprised that Subaru wasn't qualified or couldn't take it anymore. It was like, but your book tells the future. So either you
yeah,
haven't checked your book, but he didn't even care to check the book after Subaru told him. So like, is it possible that he's starting to get misinformation from the book, like how Betty just couldn't read it anymore and it was a blank book?
or it could just be a different gospel now. I suppose.
I suppose.
Yeah,
Okay, so and then Roswell reveals that he was the one who ordered the attack on the mansion to try to force Subaru to pick a side. He actually wanted Subaru to pick Emilia, but he's basically saying like you can't save both. And Subaru goes running into the forest, and he's lying on the ground and he's going crazy in his head. And Otto shows up, and Otto's just talking to him really calmly, and in my head he's like, "All right, Otto, you kind of sound like a creep. You're not making sense." And then Otto fucking punches him. I'm like, "Let's fucking go! Why'd you do it?" And my man Otto says, "Stop trying to be a tough guy in front of your friends."
yeah,
And that's how that episode ended.
yeah.
So, uh, next episode, straight bet. Otto was beaten and talking some sense in Subaru. Otto was a lot stronger than he looks. He was like overpowering Subaru.
Man, you could overpower Subaru.
And then I, okay, probably he is in high school. That's possible. And then
Grown man strength.
I was completely on Otto's side this whole time until he mentioned Rem. I was like, oh wait, are we condoning Subaru playing with Rem's emotions? Nah, okay, all right, stop it there. No, I don't like this. Otto, what are you doing?
Which is it's funny because no one's supposed to remember her.
I know. Well, you right.
So I
Okay.
don't know what's going on.
Well, maybe he's heard him talking about her.
That could be it too.
Yeah, let's just, for the sake of the story, let's just go with that.
Yeah.
So Subaru ends up trying to make a bet with Roswell, saying that in this life he can save the mansion and Emilia. And Roswell, it seems like Roswell gave Subaru a different resolve that he didn't want, and like he was really upset about it. But he ended up taking the bet because he thinks it's impossible for Subaru to be able to do it. And he even gave Subaru a heads up, like, "Hey, the snowstorm's coming in 3 days, and the attack on the mansion is coming in 3 days." And then surprisingly enough, Subaru went to Rom next, and even though she doesn't want to betray Roswell, I think she does believe Subaru and wants to help, which she does end up helping later on. And then Subaru starts trying to appeal to Ryuzu, and we find out that there are four talking Ryuzus. And the one we met, Shima, that was with Garfield the one time, is the one that doesn't no longer work with the other three because I forget the reason. Do you remember the reason?
I think it she did something she wasn't supposed to do. I don't think they actually explicitly said it. If they
So
did, I can't remember.
yeah, so um Amelia's over here struggling with the trials, and she was clearly sulking, and Subaru's over here teasing her, and Emilia. This is when I came up with theories like Amelia's actually the witch's daughter or the witch herself, and they just live in the same body but exist on different planes. And this is when you reveal that Amelia reveals that she was frozen in ice for a long time until Puck found her and broke the seal and made her free. And then I guess they made the contract shortly after. She remembered something about her mother, and she was waiting for the frozen people to wake up, but they never did. And we found out that Roswell was the one who got Amelia to compete in the to be the next queen or a ruler,
Yeah.
and she did it to potentially free the other frozen people because Roswell said he could try to do it. And then she falls asleep, and Subaru puts her to bed, and to try to summon Puck, he was going to try to choke her, but he came, and Puck already knew he had no bad intentions. He still froze him. And then it just flashes away, and Puck is really small, and he says that he had to break the contract to free her memories, and then Puck broke the contract and left her. Puck is gone. Puck is gone, but he's not dead. He can't die. He can't be dead, right? The contract is just gone. Like, do you think we could?
Spirits can die.
Well, he can't die. They can die, but like he didn't die, right? He just went to the spirit world or something.
I don't know,
I
but
don't know,
he's no
bro.
longer to be found.
I was not ready for this. I was like, nah, bro. I'm not. It's listen. I paused it. I debated on finishing it tomorrow. I was like, I don't. Ah, damn it. Let's just keep watching. Puck is gone. Amelia's crying. Shima and Garfield were talking. And Garfield left Rash. Subaru was trying to make Amelia feel better, and she asked him to stay with her all night until the sun came up. And then she wakes up and Subaru's gone. But I'm like, would he leave on his own in this situation? And Amelia just starts breaking down. She calls her mom a liar, Puck a liar, Subaru a liar. And then she disappears. And then I thought Garfield had something to do with Subaru or Amelia disappearing, but he was the I don't. The way he was reacting, he didn't know anything about it. And then Garfield goes to the crystallized Ryuzu, and my man Odo shows up, and he's just like, "You're not the main character, but you'll do, or you're not the main person I
What
want to
I
talk to."
wanted, yeah.
Yeah,
And
and then he put on a face. I'm like, "Yo, okay, is Otto about to do some boss ass shit?"
no,
No, he did it. He did it. He did it at all. He got punched in the face immediately.
but yeah, I was thinking about the thing Amelia said. She said, "Stay with me till morning, well, till the sun comes up," and the sun did come up, and he wasn't there when she woke up when the sun was up. So technically, he fulfilled what he said he was going to do.
Hey, listen, but we don't know how long he was there.
You there long enough now for her to wake up till the sun came up.
Hey, listen, be true.
Yeah,
All right, so next episode, Otto Suwen and a reason to believe. There's not really much going on in this episode. Just like a kind of sad backstory and a really stupid conversation between two stupid people.
yeah,
So the first half is we do Otto is stalling Garth, and then we get a little backstory on how he grew up and like the animals always made noises around him, but he didn't understand it, and like he didn't know
just
how to.
divine protection.
Yeah, and he didn't know how to communicate it with his family, and his brother finally taught him how to do it, and he broke down, he cried, blah blah blah, and like at the age of 10, I believe he said he could understand animals, and his brother was like never reveal this, but his sister overheard him talking to one of the dragons, and she was bragging to people, and they were like, "No, you're nuts." And he wanted to prove his sister right, I guess. So he like summoned the fucking bugs, but like a fucking billion of them showed up and swarmed the town, um, and they gave him shit for that. And then for some reason, some dude thought that he was with Otto was with his girl, so he started talking to animals to try to prove his name. And he shows up in front of them, like, turns out she's been with like 8 different men.
Yeah, that was. I found that funny. I
I
was like,
was like,
oh man,
yo, bro, what the fuck?
yeah,
So he gets punched in the face, and this girl happens to be like the daughter of the most important person in town. So they run him out. That's when he becomes a merchant, and he gets cut off by my boy Pedal I was not expecting to see Pedal again. That was a pleasant surprise. And I think the dude's name was Ricardo. Ricardo shows up to help him with the little cat siblings.
yeah.
And boom, we go back to Garth, and Otto is still stalling Garth. He's got little purple crystal bombs. And then right when he's about to get attacked, boom, Rom shows up and starts beating Garth. Starts beating Garth. Garth gets pissed off, transforms, and we flash over to the second half of the episode, A Reason to Believe, with Emilia and Subaru. And this whole second half of the episode was literally the same 5 lines, I want to say. It was just Subaru
Yeah.
saying "I love you," and Amelia saying "No, you don't. You're a liar. How could you love me after everything I did? Why'd you break your promise?" That was it. That was the whole 12 minutes. It was just them going back and forth, and then like a lot of it was like Amelia being hurt and in denial, and Subaru didn't really look like he knew how to say anything other than "I love you."
Yeah.
So in the end, Amelia's just like, "How can I believe you?" And it's like, "If I have to prove it, then I'll prove it." And then Subaru grabs her shoulders, gets on a knee, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "If you don't want this, dodge." And then Amelia closes her eyes, and I was like, "Well, you're not that confused. You puckered up and everything, and then kiss." And I was just like, it was kind of annoying, but it ended kind of cute.
No, the whole thing was annoying. She made me mad because he's sitting there saying all the ways that that he loves you and this, that, and the other. And she's like, oh, those are stupid reasons, and da 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 da. And like, those are some of my flaws. He loves you. He's saying that. He's saying even though you're not perfect, he loves you. And
But they
so,
kissed, and then
and
he got her to like she's ready to like welcome in her memories and find a reason she needs to find to keep going, which is
yeah,
clearly not Subaru.
just upsets me. Like typical behavior. I tell you
Whatever.
everything I like about you, and now you think I don't like you. What are you trying to do? But
But Subaru's the
anyhow,
same way, bro. He doesn't see what people see in him.
yeah, that's why I don't like Subaru either.
Damn.
Them two was made for each other. Can't open up their eyes to see the truth. It'd be like that.
So
But
that was ReZero.
yeah. So my whole thought about the Amelia's memories thing. So I'm thinking that he could have had a deal like how Echidna and Subaru was going to have a deal
Mm-hmm.
where they use each other for whatever means. That was one thing I had. And when Puck died and her memories got unlocked, she remembered who she was. And
Allegedly died.
uh, I'm gonna say he's dead until I
I'm gonna
see her
say
come
he's in the
back.
spirit world.
Nah, dead. But so I'm thinking like once that snapped, like she remembered that she's actually like the witch. So that was my theory about it.
Hey
Like
man.
her memories came back, and that's how she placated herself. Or the witch could just be the part of Amelia that was sealed away so that she wouldn't lose focus in the trials to get the ultimate goal.
We'll see.
So I don't know. I was just looking at it. I was like, this annoying chapter here. Annoying everything. Just annoys me.
We will see.
Yeah. Amelia, super. I don't know. Yeah. That's it. That's all I got.
Nothing else to go out on?
Nah, nothing else to got on.
Alright, guys. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you next week. Tournament time, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Peace.
Peace.